Hello everybody, welcome to the Catholic Renaissance. I am very, very excited to be launching a new series today called The Daily Bible with Gustave Dore. Now, why a daily Bible and why Gustave Dore? Well, Gustave Dore, for those of you who don't know him, he was a French illustrator who produced countless illustrations for some of the most beautiful books ever created. By age 16, he was recognized to be the most famous and highest paid illustrator in France. Now, Gustave Dore worked on the Divine Comedy and also worked on Paradise Lost. And in 1865, he was asked to work on a book on the Bible. And he produced well over 200 illustrations to explain the great theodrama, the great story of the Old Testament and the New Testament. Now, as Catholics, we're very much familiar, I think, with the Gospels, with the New Testament. But the Old Testament can be a little bit more tricky, a little bit more difficult for us to understand. And through this new study, I plan on weaving together the Old Testament and the New Testament stories to develop my own understanding of the great theodrama, the great story that God has been writing since day one. And also to help you develop your understanding and knowledge of the Old and New Testaments and how they are beautifully connected and how they shine a light and reveal things to one another. Now, artwork can be a fantastic medium through which to develop our understanding of the biblical texts. It's called the via pulchritudinus, the way of beauty. When you look at a piece of art, you go to the Louvre or the Musée d'Orsay, or you go to St. Peter's Basilica or the Vatican museums, or even down to your local church. Actually, would be a great place to go. And you see the wonderful stained glass windows and the statues. And you see, of course, the wonderful world-famous works of art like the Pietà and the Last Supper. And it really opens up a window, opens up a part of our minds to the beautiful story of our faith. And having just watched the Tour de France, I was thinking of an analogy that I could use to explain this connection. And the analogy that I came up with is the bicycle. So as you can see here, you can see my bicycle. And I want you to envisage the New Testament and the Old Testament as being the wheels on the bike. The bike with one wheel is not going to go too far. Your journey is going to be disjointed. It's going to be unfulfilling. It's going to be very bumpy in your journey towards your destination. You'll get there maybe in the end, but it's going to be an incomplete journey. If you only have the back wheel, a similar story will entail. So with the New Testament as the front wheel and the Old Testament as the back wheel, when they work in cooperation and there's a coherence and a continuity between both, the bicycle can smoothly move along the road to your destination with great fluidity. But don't forget, there's a saddle on the bike and there's also a chainring and gears. Now, this suggests that we need to engage with the texts. This bike on its own is not going to go anywhere. It's going to sit exactly where it is, static. Unless I get up on the bike and cycle it, the bike's going nowhere. So we have to engage with the text. We have to be energized. We have to have energy. We have to get on the bike. In this way, through this new Bible study, we can orientate ourselves and educate ourselves and enlighten ourselves. And in that way, the back wheel can feed the front wheel. The energy from the kinetic energy from the back wheel pushes the front wheel forward. The kinetic energy of the Old Testament will energizes the New Testament. Our understanding of the New Testament, the front wheel, will help bring the Old Testament into play, will help bring the back wheel into play. And all of a sudden we're moving. We get to know Jesus Christ through his word. It's essentially we get to know the person of Christ. And if we want to get to know the person of Christ, we have to actively engage with his word, both old and new. And for this study, I think it's important that you have a Bible to hand. If you haven't, don't worry about it. We're working on the system of WAY, W-A-Y, 3 steps. W stands for the word. There will be a biblical quote and a short explanation of what Dore's art is showing. A for art. We're going to have a close-up look at his artwork and what is he trying to tell us through his art. And finally, I think most importantly, is why, which means you, after meditating on the image and the word, what is your action? What are you taking away from this? What is it telling us for our day-to-day lives as Catholics? So don't forget, W-A-Y. This is the way we will get to know the person of Jesus Christ in his word, both old and new. The Daily Bible with Dore from the Catholic Renaissance. Please subscribe, like, and share. And let's get to know the person of Jesus Christ.